Every one of us has dealt with acid reflux at some point, whether it's been at home or at work, maybe out at a restaurant with coworkers or family. And when it hits, you want relief and you want it fast. And for a lot of people, Gaviscon Advance has been the go-to for a long time, and with good reason, because it works. And up until recently, it's been easily purchased, at your drugstore and Amazon. But recently, when people have started to go on Amazon, you search Gaviscon Advance, and you might notice it's gone, like really gone. And Gaviscon Advance is no longer sold in the US. So you'll see if you pull it up that there are other Gaviscon Advance labeled products, but they are not the original Gaviscon Advance. It's now sold out of the UK, and it's really hard to get in the States. It's, from what I've heard from a lot of people, it's really hard even to get it through customs. So even if you can get it ordered, it's not necessarily going to make its way to your house. So you've got other things, like I said, that are called Gaviscon Advance, all of these other options, but they do not contain the same amount of what are called alginates, which was Gaviscon Advance's big product that really made them very effective and loved by so many people. So first, let's talk about why it was so effective. So unlike regular antacids, which simply neutralize your stomach acid, the Gaviscon Advance, the kind with the alginates, has this thing called sodium alginate, which is a compound that comes from brown seaweed. Tasty, I know. And it forms a raft or a cap that kind of floats on top of your stomach contents, keeping the acid down so that it can't come back up, which is so much nicer than at least with a lot of other antacids. If it only neutralize it, like that, acids can still come back up and still be really unpleasant. So now that Gaviscon Advance is gone, we all need solutions. And here are some of my favorites, tried and tested by so many people, and these are what work. So my top favorite is Reflux Gourmet. And right off the bat, if you get on Amazon, you'll see its flavor, or its first flavor anyway, is Vanilla Caramel Rescue. Who does not want to be rescued by something called vanilla caramel? And it sounds delicious, and it actually lives up to that name pretty well. Obviously, it's not going to taste exactly like a dessert because it isn't one, but it is going to be leaps and bounds above that chemical taste or the fake fruit taste that you get in a lot of other products. And it also comes in a mint chocolate. So if you're more of a chocolate fan, this is also a great option as well. And you can see here the ingredients that are in it. It has that alginate complex, which is what the Gaviscon Advance had and is still being used here. So you can still get the same relief with that alginate therapy, but it's also a lot more natural than the Gaviscon Advance was, which makes it, I think, in my opinion, a little bit better option. Something else really cool I learned about Reflux Gourmet is that it was founded by physicians. They're actually ENT physicians with a lot of experience and a chef, which makes sense because it's much better tasting than a lot of other options, and you can tell the effort was put into that. So this is going to be a really good option for you if you need some quick relief, but you're also using it quite often because it's a little bit easier to use and just is all natural, so you know you're not putting anything weird into your body. Other options, if you're maybe not like a dessert flavor person, we have a Reflex Raft, which is another good option. It does have like the fruit flavor, so this lemon ginger, which is really polarizing. Some people love it, some people really do not. I think ginger itself is kind of, it can be a really good flavor or really off-putting depending on who you are. So It's going to be kind of similar to the Reflux Gourmet. They're both kind of a gel type consistency, and this one also has that sodium alginate in it, along with a lot of other organic or natural products. And it is, you can see here, good for heartburn, indigestion, nausea, throat pain, and still made out of that same alginate therapy. It doesn't get quite as good of reviews. People really don't necessarily love the taste, and the consistency I've heard is really hard to choke down too. So if maybe liquid is not your preferred form of heartburn relief, there's also Hilma, and they offer natural antacids, and it's more for like the occasional relief. So if you're needing this all the time, maybe go back to one of these other options. And it does not contain the alginates, so just something to be aware of. If that is really like the clincher for you, go back, use either Reflex Raft or Reflux Gourmet. But if you're looking for just occasional, really natural relief, Hilma has ginger, licorice, chamomile, marshmallow, artichoke, all just simple herbs that all work together to help provide some relief. And it also does get pretty good reviews. So it's a little bit easier if you just want to pop a pill and not have to down some liquid. Last is this Ganexa antacid. And this is a great natural alternative to Tums. If you just want something that is familiar and simple, something you can stick in your purse or in your car, this one is an easy one to just toss in and go. And it's made of the calcium carbonate, which is the same thing as Tums, but it just doesn't have some of those other like chemical synthetic ingredients. It has all natural products, so you can see no artificial additives or anything like that. So just a little bit cleaner option, and also is rated really well on Amazon. So when it comes to looking for a go-to alternative for Gaviscon Advance, my top pick is Reflux Gourmet. The flavor is good, it works, and I love the alginate therapy in it. The Reflex Raft, again, a good choice if you're more of a fruit flavor and you don't mind the consistency. If a pill is the way to go for you, Hilma is just easy for occasional heartburn relief, and Ganexa is just the simple go-to for occasional or simple relief. And I hope that that helps you. I know these have helped me a lot as I've been trying to transition away from that Gaviscon Advance, and it doesn't look like it's coming back anytime soon. So this is all a good option to try out something new, find something that maybe works a little bit better, and hopefully is a little more natural, a little bit cleaner.